Psychology Assignment 2, James McIntosh. I'm studying Development and Coaching and Fitness Level 3. Today's date is the 5th of March 2014 and it is 4 o'clock. Holds drive theory. An example of Holds drive theory would be when a weightlifter is suffering from low arousal. Their performance will be low. This means they will not be able to hold as much weight. However, once their arousal begins to increase, so does the amount of weight they are lifting. The inverted U theory. An example of the inverted U theory would be a tennis player. As his arousal increases, so does his performance. With this high arousal, his serves will be much more accurate, as he is getting more involved in the game. This trend continues until he hits his optimum level of arousal. At this point, he will be at his highest point of performance. However, his arousal still continues to increase. This means his performance starts to decrease, and he will start to get too much power on his shots, and he will start going out. This is a graph showing the different types of sports needed for the levels of arousal. This graph shows that high concentration sports such as golf and darts need fine skills, so a low level of arousal is needed. For sports such as football and rugby, they require gross skills, so the level of arousal can be much higher before it begins to affect the performance. An example of this would be in darts. A low level of arousal would be needed because they need high concentration. Otherwise, it would begin to affect their performance. However, in rugby, the arousal would be able to get much higher before it began to affect its performance because it only requires gross skills. An example of the catastrophe theory would be Fernando Torres, playing against Manchester United in 2008. His arousal started off low, because since he joined the club he had not scored. However, as the game progressed, his arousal began to increase, which meant his performance began to increase. This is point D. This trend continued until he hit point A. At this point he had come across a situation where he had a chance to score. However, he choked. This caused a sudden drop in performance, going down to point B. However, he was determined not to let this affect his performance, so he continued. This is going towards point C. Stress. An example of eustress would be winning a set in a tennis match. This would create a positive effect on the performance, because you feel a sense of achievement and you want to push on and win the match. De-stress. An example of de-stress would be taking a penalty after missing the last fall. You know the pressure is on you because of the recent form, and this pressure is more likely to make you miss. Anxiety. A reference definition of anxiety is: Anxiety is a negative emotional state that is either characterized by or associated with feelings, nervousness, or apprehension, or worry. My definition of anxiety would be: anxiety is when a person is feeling worried or nervous about a task they will have to complete.